Hello, this is Chris Spalding, and I'm doing my project for 21st Century Techs. My project is on DMT, which I will explain to you in a second, but first, I must make this disclaimer that in no way am I trying to promote the use of any illegal substances, alright? Well, DMT is known as N,N-dimethyltryptamine for all you fancy scientific people. It's a chemical that is endogenous, which means it's made naturally in the human brain, such as like melatonin, serotonin, and other neurotransmitters such as dopamine. And it's hypothesized to be manufactured in the pineal gland, which is a gland in your brain, probably the size of a pea, shaped like a pine cone. And its main function serves for producing melatonin at nighttime to regulate sleep patterns. But it's hypothesized that when the brain's under stress, like such as you're dying, or like a spiritual moment possibly, then your brain releases DMT instead of melatonin, which causes visions, out-of-body experiences, and various other higher states of mind. I wouldn't call them higher states of mind, I'd call them altered states of mind. But DMT has been found in the brains of rats, and components for creating DMT have been found in the human body. It's just that we haven't found the brain in action producing DMT, or we haven't found these mechanisms working at once. Another important thing about DMT is it's a main ingredient of the ritualistic South American tea called Ayahuasca, which was drinking by native South Americans for visions and spiritual reasons in a shamanic context. DMT itself can't produce any effects when taken by itself. Like if you had a tree bark or a leaf that produced DMT and you had like a ton of it, you could eat as much as you want of it and you still wouldn't feel any of the effects. They wouldn't do anything because DMT is blocked by something called monoamine oxidases, which are in your digestive system, and they would break it down before it can get into your bloodstream. But however, with ayahuasca, the DMT is combined with the Banistrophis, or actually it's called the Banis pteropsis cape vine, which contains monoamine oxidase inhibitors, which are MAOIs, which block the effects of monoamine oxidases. And thus it would allow DMT to be absorbed into the bloodstream. So say regular DMT probably only lasts about 10 minutes from the reports in the book, whereas if you were to drink ayahuasca, it'd probably last about 8 hours. But DMT itself is a compound of the tryptamine family, thus the name dimethyltryptamine. It's very similar to psilocybin, which is in magic mushrooms, LSD, which we all know what that is, serotonin, which regulates functions in our brain, ibogaine, which is an African hallucinogen, and bufotenin, which comes from the Colorado River toad. It's derived from the amino acid tryptophan, which supposedly that's the reason why people are sleepy on Thanksgiving after they eat their turkey, but that's not true. It's just because you eat too much. And in the DMT studies conducted by Dr. Rick Strassman from 1990 to 1995, he injected 60 volunteers with intravenous DMT, with the usual dosage being 0.4 milligrams per kilograms of weight. So for every kilogram you weigh, you would have 0.4 milligrams of DMT injected into you. That actually sounds kind of painful, but it isn't. Methods of administration of DMT other than intravenous injection are inhalation, intramuscular injection, orally with an MAOI, which would be like ayahuasca. And another interesting fact about DMT and ayahuasca. Ayahuasca has been used to treat drug addiction in individuals in Canada and has shown great improvement in a study done by the Center for Addictions Research in British Columbia. I saw that article and I thought it was really interesting, and it pertained to the subject I was studying, so I thought I'd throw that in there. Let me show you something else I found interesting in this book. The chemical structure of DMT itself looks like this right here. That's DMT. But it also looks similar to regular tryptamine, serotonin down here. See, they look just about the same. They all do. That right there is LSD. And ibogaine is pictured right here. See, don't they all look the same? I thought that was interesting because they have really close chemical compound structures. And that's my project. Thank you.